Welcome to Candid Convos with Evette Rawls. I am Evette Rawls, founder and creator of Teacher Coach Series. During this session, I would like to share some tips and strategies about what you should do before the school year begins. Yes, before the school year begins. Those 3 tips that I would like to share with you are: take your time, remember your why, and establish your stability. Now, you hear these 3 tips and automatically you gave some ideas and some understanding about what each of those tips possibly look like. But I want to go into depth of how to establish these 3 tips in your everyday life as a teacher. Although I'm telling you to start these and to begin to incorporate them into your routine before the school year starts, these are going to be tips that is going to maintain throughout your years of teaching. Take your time. Exactly that. Take your time. As a new school teacher, you're going to want to make sure that everything is right. We have lists, to-do lists, planners, newsletters, everything from what the administration expects from us, from what we expect from ourselves, from what we think the students expect from us, from what the parents expect from us. All of this pressure that's going through our minds daily. So we're creating these lists of what I need to do, when I need to do it, how I need to do it, and the time frame that you have to do it in. Most of us, we go through these things and all of this is just like piling up on us, and it puts us into a place of panic. That's the flip side of take your time. Breathe. Take one step at a time. When you begin to prep for your school year, create a schedule. For me, I'm at a place that I begin to prepare for the school year by giving it 2 hours a day. Now, granted, some activities, some things that I just want to get done, it may take more than 2 hours. But then I remember the next day, okay, 2 hours. And I'm very mindful of this because my time, I'm going to remember to take. I need my time to store up that energy because when the school year begins, you might not have so much of your time. So I would love for you to establish how to take your time before the school year begins. So even though you have to create the newsletter, even though you are receiving newsletters of what you need to do, even though you have to create labels for all the desks, and you have to make sure that the classroom has a certain scent, and you want to make sure that the classroom has a certain culture and climate, and you're doing all these different things to make sure that your classroom is prepped, along with preparing all of your lessons for the year. Hopefully you're not preparing all your lessons for the year and before the school year begins, but in the sense of making copies maybe for the first 3 months or putting the pressure on you to do all the activities that you can before the kids get there, because some of us, we operate in that mindset too. Let's do as much as I can while I can. I was once there. Take your time. The slower you go, the faster you get there. Now that's a quote that I use also in my classroom with my students that can sometimes be in a way of like, what? But honestly, the slower you go, the faster you get there. Because if you rush through, you'll forget some things. You have to go back and retract, and you possibly will make mistakes. So slowly create a list. Today, this is what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do copies all day today, I'm going to dedicate 2 hours to this. Take your time. Today, I'm going to create all my digital parent contact or parent information or whatever information you want to give out to the parent. Create that sample or that skeleton of your newsletter for the year. Give it 2 hours a day. Now, you may give it more. That's up to you. But take your time. The second tip that I want to give you before you start the school year is remember your why. Because if you remember your why now, and you begin to remind yourself of your why, it does not matter if things fall apart, because you're still going to come and you're still going to play this. You're going to keep your head in the game because you remember why you are in this classroom. And hopefully it's for the students. If not, I am going to give you some resources and give you access to some resources to discover your why. But your why is going to help you remember and keep your head in the game. When I say the game, of course, the classroom. So remembering your why, You want to make sure that it does not matter if you don't get the computer cart for the week. It does not matter if the trash is not taken out. It does not matter if you don't feel 100% about what's going on, or you don't agree with what was said to you, or if someone ruffles your feathers, or if you feel misunderstood. Remember your why. Because when you remember your why, all the other things really don't matter. And you can look at it, well, I'm not really here for that. I'm not here if I was really supposed to, go to the media center today and they canceled everything and I sort of had my mind wrapped around going to the media center. Whatever. I'm just trying to think of some ideas off the top of my head, in the sense of what may throw you off to sort of like put your why on the back burner. But no, remember your why. There's going to be a link below this video that you can click on to go to a document that you can actually complete to identify your why. And when you remember your why, all the other things, they don't matter anymore. So number one, take your time. It's your time. Take it. Remember your why. And that will encourage you throughout the entire school year. And the third thing is to establish your stability. This comes with a mindset of creating your goals. Now, when creating your goals, you're going to need to be realistic, and they're going to need to be achievable and measurable. So in that, making sure that these goals are achievable, measurable, and realistic, you're going to need to focus on your goals. So when focusing on your goals, this is a personal, internal conditioning of the mind that you always keep. And this also goes hand in hand with remembering your why. So in establishing your foundation, you'll always get to a place that you'll remember that goal. So you won't have to make rushed decisions. Now, as a new teacher, you come with a bit of energy that is desired by all, because you're so excited. You probably always positive. You come with the air about yourself. It's youthful. It's the newness of it all. And so you may be asked to participate in extracurricular activities. Now, depending on your grade level, this may look like certain things as being helping to coach a team, helping to stay after school with some different activities, or some intervention programs, or some improvement programs for some of the students. And you may love this, and this may be something that you like. Yes, I want to do this. I want to do this after school program. Yes, I want to be the person that does the bulletin board every month. Yes, I want to do the newsletter for the team. This may be your thing. I will not tell you yes or no not to do it. But what I want to tell you is to remember your why. Remember your goals that you set forth for yourself, and establish that stability so that when you are asked to participate or asked to be involved in certain things, you don't have to make a rush decision. You can take a step back and say, if it does not align with my goals, it does not align with where I see myself 5 years from now, I am okay and I'm confident enough to say that does not work for me. No. No is the answer. You don't have to explain. And of course, be nice, be professional. Don't be rude, okay? But you want to say, well, not at this time. Give me some time to think about it. I'll get back to you in 2 weeks. You can do that and then come back with your answer and say no. Don't allow the excitement of your why to get in the way of you pursuing your goals. And what that means is, you're in here, you're excited, you just want to make sure that you're reaching these goals. And sometimes the pressure, the outside, external factors can come in, and you'll burn yourself out. So pace yourself. This goes back to tip number 1. Take your time. So also in establishing your stability is learn how to be a partner. So in those activities, or in those organizations that you say yes to, make sure that there is an equal give and take. If you're responsible for all the newsletters, or the newsletters for the team, you need to make sure that everybody's giving their input, or they're giving you a snippet of things that you can just copy and paste into the newsletter. What I mean, and giving that example, is you shouldn't have to chase down to find this information, because that's going to be more stress on you. Choose you first, right? So when you're choosing yourself, you're making sure that you're establishing that stability, that I'm a partner. I'm going to give equal, or I need everybody to give equal give and take, because I'm going to give equal give and take. If I take on this task, I need to make sure that I have the support that everybody else is going to give their part so that this task can be completed. However you start something, it's how you finish it. However you begin the school year, it's how you're going to end the school year. If you begin in a frazzle-dazzle state, you will end in a frazzle-dazzle state. Hold on to your peace. Take your time. Remember your why. Establish your stability. Thank you for joining me for the Candid Convos with Evette. Remember that you can comment below. You can send me questions through DM, Instagram, email. If you don't want to put your name or your questions down below, ask me anything. I want to be transparent and help and share ways that can help you have a successful school year during your first 5 years of teaching. That is my heart's desire, to be here as a pillar of support for all new teachers. During this journey, as we begin to go through even more sessions, the next session is going to be about building relationships during your first 5 years. And so I'm going to start that session, and I hope you'll join me. If you have any questions about how to develop and build relationships in your first 5 years of teaching, please send those questions to me. In regards to admin, and I'll just give this little snippet so that you'll know, and just to throw it out there, you may not get along with your administration. You may have questions of how does that work? Will I see my principal, or will I only deal with my assistant principal? Things like that. Those are topics and tips and strategies that I'm going to be discussing in the next session. So I hope to hear from all of you. I hope that you would share this with a teacher that may be able to gain insight to help establish that foundation of taking their time, remembering their why, and establishing that stability before the school year begins. I thank you and hope to hear from all of you soon. See you next time.